Let's add some loops to your project, but not Fruit Loops. Although I am hungry now. Alright, we're gonna focus on the velocity parameter within the track editor for MIDI. Now to focus on velocity, I'm gonna isolate one instrument. And I'm gonna choose the upright jazz bass this time. So that one's got a few more notes than the rest of the instruments. And we're gonna solo this one. Just click on that little headphones. And let's take a quick listen. Okay, looks like it's soloed. Now before we get into it, what is velocity? Well, in the MIDI world, velocity values represent how hard a note or a chord is being played in a real-life instrument. So for example, if you're playing a guitar string, the harder you hit the string, the harder the note will be. So that also works for vice versa. The softer you play a string, the more softer the note will sound. So this translates to velocity with the value number. The higher the number, the harder the note will be played, or how it will sound. So let's take a look at the bottom. Within the track editor, the velocity is actually grayed out. We can't even control it. And there's a reason for that. That's because we have no MIDI note selected. So GarageBand doesn't know which note to change the velocity of. So all we have to do is simply take the first note, for example, just simply click on it and it highlights to a green color. That way you know that note is selected. Now the velocity parameter becomes ungrayed out and you can actually slide it and change the value. Now since the value is already kind of high and I want to show you the example of how it sounds, let's go drastically lower. And let's change it to, well, you know what, before we do that, I'm gonna leave it at 107 and show an example of how it sounds. Okay, so let's change that first note to, I don't know, 30 or so. Okay, did you hear how that first note was really, really soft? It was still there, but it was really soft where you can barely hear it. Let's listen one more time. And one more time. Did you catch it? Alright. Well, that pretty much sums up the velocity parameter.